Guys, how are you? So I have the other videos uploaded and this is the other video. I have more words that don't relate to these types of things, but I want to get these 3 videos out because they connect with each other and they're extremely important. So I posted a video the other day and I talked about how in that video, I think I titled the video "They're in on it," or they're just as in on it, and I said Pharisees, right? Now, I want to say something. Whether you're Catholic, whether you're Orthodox, whether you're Christian, the title does not matter. If you are, walking with the Lord and you are claiming Jesus as your God and your heart is right towards God, your heart is upright and He is in your heart and He is speaking to you and you are living the word, you are reading the word, you are being obedient, you are following His commandments, your heart is in it completely with God. You have to understand that if you are really on this walk and you are doing what He needs you to do, you have to take heed in this time, in this season, in general. Okay? I put out a word the other day and I said the Pharisees are in on it. And I talked about in the video how the forces of evil are collaborating with people in the churches. And I talked about how there's a mission right now to take out God's true anointed people, the ones that are actually hearing from Him, the ones that are actually doing His will, the ones that are bringing light and shedding awareness to things. There's a lot of framing going on, and there's a lot of attempts to take out many of God's people. And I told you guys about there being a massive deliverance second half of this year, and how before we even get to that, we're gonna start noticing a lot of demonic influences in people that's gonna lead them to do things that are extremely crazy, whether it's gunshots, whether it's attacking people, whether it's eating people's body parts. You guys can see just with the recent incidences that are happening with the stabbings that happened in Sydney. And then on top of that, a bishop in a church, there was an attempt to kill him. The Lord allowed me to hear this bishop. Again, I don't like talking people's names. I don't like bringing up names because I don't want any type of clout. This is mainly just to bring awareness to what's going on. The Lord showed me the bishop last night in the vision, and the Lord allowed me to hear this bishop crying out in prayer to Him. I heard him in the spirit crying out to God in prayer. And God will do that. He'll allow His children to hear other children of His when they're crying or praying. I heard this bishop crying out and he was weary, very weary, because of what happened to him. Although he has a good spirit and although he's, staying positive, he was crying out to God in weariness. God showed me that this is not the first attempt. There's going to be another attempt on this bishop, right? And they're going to try. The first attempt was from someone, I don't know if they're from the church or what, I don't know. But the Lord showed me that the second attempt is going to be from someone that is close to Him. Okay? And He wants us to pray. But the Lord also showed me that this bishop knows about this. As in, he was already warned from God about these things. Just like many of us were warned from God about these things. And I made a video the other day telling you guys in that video that they're literally right now, they're out for God's people, God's prophets, God's true ones. They're trying to silence us. They're trying to hush us up. They're not worried about the fake prophets. They're not worried about the ones that don't know how to interpret things properly. They're not worried about the ones who are focused on gossiping and lies and twisting people's words and twisting dreams and visions and looking for views and clout. And they're not worried about these people. What they're worried about is those of us who can see behind the layers. Those of us who have the keys to the hidden mysteries of heaven. Those of us who can see what's going on in the kingdom of darkness. Those of us who can see the plots and the schemes. Those of us who can see what's going on with humanity, what they're going to do in the world. That's who they're after, because they're trying to silence us. The same thing that happened to Bishop, it just happened recently. I made that video days before it happened, warning you guys and telling you guys that this is what they're going to try to do. So this is a warning to God's people, God's prophets, those of you guys who can see behind the layers who are being used. This is a warning, and God is letting you know that you have to take heed. That's why I told you guys, God was showing me different ways how they're going to try to do it. For some of you guys, they're trying to use witchcraft to take you out. For some of you guys, they're trying to poison you. For some of you guys, they may come to you face to face and try to attack you. For some of you guys, they may try to do what they did with Bishop. You see what I'm saying? The point of the matter is, God said it's time for us to take heed. I told you guys about 2 weeks ago in a video that God may have us in a complete isolation right now where we're not out like we used to be. And this is for a reason. It's for safety purposes. God always warns before destruction. God always warns before thing. And it's not to put fear in you guys. I'm not putting fear in you guys. I'm giving you guys a warning. I'm giving you guys the message to take heed. This is why you have to discern who's around you, who you're eating from, whose house you're in. Because the enemy is going to try to use people who are close to you. You guys are going to start seeing people getting attacked. Real people of God who are actually doing God's work. You're going to start seeing them either if they're not getting framed to get Christians to go up after them, and they're getting framed and familiar spirits are masquerading as them, or familiar spirits are not whispering in the ears of, those who have the gift to hear, to try to manipulate them into going up against them. There's going to be physical attacks. There's going to be witchcraft attacks. There's going to be attempts to poison. There's different ways on how they're trying to take out some of God's people. It's also through suicide. They're trying to get some of God's people to be so humiliated, so attacked, so framed to the point where they want to commit suicide. They can no longer handle the walk. That's what they're trying to do. If that doesn't work, they're going to try physical things. Again, I'm not trying to put fear in you. I'm keeping it real. I'm being obedient. Okay? And this is why God has been giving us warnings about certain things and telling us right now in this season to take heed and to keep ourselves, as much as a distance away from certain people, to discern who's in our lives. And to take prayer and fasting very seriously. Okay? And so I want to give you guys this warning and let you guys know what's going on. You guys are going to start to see that God's true people, you're going to start seeing attacks coming from inside the churches. As in, there's a demon sitting in the church the whole time, or there's a witch in the church the whole time, and that pastor, who is of God, did not take heed or did not discern properly. And they're being attacked. Some of you guys, you're gonna hear about some pastors who are actually warlocks and witches attacking people in the congregation, trying to hurt them, trying to set them up. Again, it's gonna come from all over. I told you guys that people are gonna start seeing more demonic activity before the massive deliverance. Okay, so God wants us to really just take heed at this time. Okay, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.